Okay, I'm back with another quick video to show you two programs I like to use. These are two very common programs. One of them is going to attempt to scan and clean your computer of malware and some viruses and spyware and anything else it can find. It's a very popular program. It's called Malwarebytes. A lot of shops use it. I use it personally. I use it on work computers. It's a really good site. It's completely free. I'm sorry, not site, program. It's a completely free program, and I can send a link, put a link in the channel description to show you where you can download it to make sure you're getting the right program. So we'll go right into this program. Once you download it, you're going to get an installer, mbam-setup. We'll just run this setup, double click into it. It may pop up and ask you, are you sure you want to? We're sure. We're pretty much going to click straight through this installer. It's going to say English, we're going to say next, we're going to agree, next, next, we're going to let it install to the default location, next, and we're going to let it create a desktop icon. Then we'll hit install. After it gets done installing, it's going to pop up and ask us if we want to update and launch, and we're going to leave both of these boxes checked here and click finish. It's going to pop up and it's going to automatically update our program. This is really important. I'm going to also show you how to update it after it's been installed. Pretty much for this program to be effective, it has to be completely up to date. So we're going to click OK. It's updated itself. This is the main menu. When the program opens, you'll see a few tabs here. We're only going to worry about two tabs. One is scanner, one is update. Anytime you open this program, and I would recommend running this program anytime you have a free second. It's a good program and you can't overscan. It's a really good program. I would run it at least weekly, especially if you're doing a lot of downloading and a lot of stuff on your computer. Anytime you come in, the very first thing you want to do is click the update tab. Come down here and click check for updates. It'll pop up that same little window it did before, and then it's going to tell us obviously it's already up to date since we just did. But you'd click that, it automatically update itself. You don't have to do anything. We'll go back to scanner. You have three options here. This bottom one we're not going to be able to use. That's only available in their paid version, which there's really no reason to buy the paid version. It has a couple of nice options, but we will gain a lot from using just this free version up here. Quick scan, I would do that when you have already previously performed a full scan recently and you just want to check up and make sure everything is okay and clean on your machine. Especially if this is your first time, go ahead and select perform a full scan, and then you're just going to click scan. It's going to pop up and ask you what drives you want to scan. By default, your C drive is going to be selected, and if you have multiple hard drives, you're going to want to check them all. And if you have any thumb drives also, this is a cool way to pop it in there and scan it. Thumb drives can be really dangerous with passing around viruses and stuff, especially if you take them around to a bunch of computers. I would check anything really that you can. It may take a little while, and depending on how much you're scanning, it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, 2 hours. But one good deep scan, it's going to be good, and if it comes up clean, you know you're pretty good. So we're going to let it scan everything it wants to. So a couple of things we don't have to worry about, like I know D is my CD drive. Obviously it wouldn't hurt if you had it checked, but we know it's not. If you're not really sure what you got, go to start my computer and go back into that screen, and you can see that C is a hard drive. We see E is a hard drive. If I had a jump drive in, it would be down here, and we would see what letter it is. So we're going to let it scan C and E, the two hard drives, and we'll just click scan. It'll pull up this little window here, and it's just going to start going. You can see how many objects it's scanned, and if this pops up, if it finds anything, it'll show the number here, and it'll be in bright red, so you'll know if something's infected. And we'll just let it run until it completely stops, and when it stops, it will pop up another window, and it'll either say all clean or these are the files that were infected. Now, the point of this video is not to go into detail of what to do if you are infected. It's more or less just to show you that this is a really good program to use. There's a ton of programs out there nowadays. A lot of them are junk. A lot of them are worse than having a virus. A lot of them are really expensive, and this is a very good program right now, and it's free. I would say this in combination with a really good antivirus solution, which I'm going to cover in a video really soon of what I would recommend, you're pretty good. As long as you're not doing something really stupid on your computer, using these two programs and keeping them up to date, your machine's going to be pretty good. So again, this is Malwarebytes, and we're going to let it do its scan, and if it comes up with anything, we'll let it clean it, and if not, you know you're good. So I'm going to go ahead and abort this just because I know I've already done a scan and I know I'm all good. And real quick, I can go ahead and show you what the window will look like after it's done. So if this thing finished the whole scan and got done, it would pop this window up. And pretty much what this is going to tell you is how many files were infected, and if there were any, it would list them right here. Now, this would be pretty important information, and if this came up and you did have files infected, I would go ahead and save this document and send it to me, and or you know, send it to whoever works on your computer. If you have any questions, you could send it to me, and I could let you know what I think. This will let you know what files and what programs and what maybe potentially got your computer infected. It's really hard to tell sometimes, but if it's, you know, in a music folder attached to a song that you downloaded off LimeWire, you know, that's a pretty good idea of where you got it. So anyways, that's Malwarebytes. Really good program. It should be on every computer you have. We'll close that out. One other program I wanted to touch base on real quick is a program called CC Cleaner. It's just a real quick daily maintenance type program. I run it on all computers anytime I get my hands on them. It's going to clean out a lot of your temp folders and a lot of your just bulk folders that you don't really need. It does a lot of different Windows things. We don't have to go into detail of what all it does. Just know that it's pretty good. I'll send you a link for it also of where to download it. And just like with the MBAM, you'll get this little setup. We'll double click into it and let it run. This one, we're not going to click through everything default because it's going to try to sneak in a Yahoo toolbar down here. And I personally definitely don't want that, and I wouldn't recommend. Toolbars aren't your friend. They junk up your screen and slow your browsers down, and potentially are sitting there watching everything you're doing and sending off data to somebody. So we don't want this toolbar. It's going to try to add. I'm not going to let it add buttons everywhere, but you can. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you don't get the toolbar down here. We'll click install. It'll install really fast. We'll leave that checked, and it'll pop up. This is the CCleaner main window. Now all these right here, they're going to be checked by default. We're going to leave all of those. If you notice right here, there's this autocomplete form history. It's not checked. What that is when you go into an internet browser and you go to start typing something in a box and it pops up and magically knew what you were going to type. That's what this data is. So usually you can leave that. It doesn't really hurt anything. We'll leave all these checked. Something we can do down here is we can put a check next to DNS cache. Sorry. And then right down here under advanced, we can put a check into old prefetched data. Now with these settings right here, we can just go ahead and click run cleaner. It's going to say this will permanently delete files. We're okay, we know that. We'll click don't show us this again. And it's just going to run, and it's going to delete all your temporary files. Oh, one thing, you can't have your browsers open. It'll pop up and let you know if you didn't. So I'll go ahead and close Firefox here. And when I click OK, it'll go ahead and it'll clean everything. Now it shows here it removed 1,263 megabytes. That's pretty significant. And I've seen it triple that on computers that have never ran it. So it's a pretty good little program. You always hear people clean your temp, you know, flush your DNS, all kind of stuff like that. This will do all that for you. And also, it has another little thing down here, kind of the same deal, but for your registry. This isn't something we want to constantly mess with. Unless your computer's having problems, there's really no need to go into here. But if you're having some weird issues, this is another option here that maybe I'll do another video on sometime. But this attempts to clean up your registry in your computer. But for the most part right now, these temporary files cleaners, that's pretty good. So we can see it removed 1.2 gigs of stuff that I don't need. And this isn't going to be anything you're going to miss. This is cookies and cache and stuff like that. And also it will delete your internet history of any pages you've been to and stuff like that. And you can actually click run again, and it might snag a little bit more. Keep hitting run here, and it eventually, yeah, we're probably good now. So you know, you may not have to do this for another week or two, or even if you just do it once a month. It's a cool little program to have. So again, that was Malwarebytes and CC Cleaner, two programs I recommend. They're really easy to use, and a lot of times they can make a pretty big difference on your computer. So again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have some more videos up soon.